All right, here we go. It has not been the best of days. I suppose it's not been the worst, but I'm working on a headache right now. Hoping will go away. And get to that point in the day where your day's done. There's nothing really left to do. I start to get a nagging headache, and then my productivity just plummets. I spent the last half hour of my day just kind of staring off into nothingness, doing just kind of whatever came to mind. And so now it's like I need to eat something, because like right now all I want to do is go home and go to bed. But I need to put food on my stomach before I do that. And whenever I have days like this, I'm always tempted to just go to the drive-thru real quick and get some food and then come home and crash. And that's really tempting right now. I have plenty of food to eat in the house, which is not necessarily a problem. Just going home, reheating it, and eating it. But I don't know. I get this idea that like the drive-thru is somehow that much easier than reheating food, that I'm like, I just need to go to the drive-thru. Why reheat food when you can drive through? And we'll see where that lands me. Oh, man, I'm tired. That always makes me feel like when I'm yawning this much and I have a headache, that I have the headache because of sleep. It's one of my triggers, but I felt like I slept pretty well last night. I think maybe I went to bed late and I woke up early, but at the most, I lost an hour of sleep. At the most. I don't know. I'm just tired and I got a headache and I want to go home. I want to eat some food and I want to go home. And I'm wondering if, where am I going with this? I was technically supposed to go to the gym today, but there's no way that's going to happen. I have been an expert at finding excuses to get out of the gym this week. And it sucks, but it's the reality in which I live in right now. I don't want this Blue Ford to get any ideas. I'm not letting you over Blue Ford like it's my turn. Come on now. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this video is going to be kind of lame because I'm out of it and I got a headache. But I'm also very close to catching up with myself. So I need to keep videos going. It's hard when I'm leaving work because I got a lot more stop and go traffic that occupies my mind than when I'm coming home. Because when I'm coming home, I've just got like turn on the highway, and then I can talk. And now it's like turn, stop, turn, stop, turn, stop, turn, stop, turn, stop, highway, talk. And so it's hard to keep a consistent thought process going when I know that I've got all this stuff, this in-town driving ahead of me. And so I don't know. I always have these ideas, like I said, that fast food will somehow make me feel better for feeling like poo, but it doesn't oftentimes do that. Though I'm not necessarily in the mood for what I've got going on either. I had this thing that I was waiting on at work, and today was the day that it was supposed to get the thumbs up, and it didn't get anything. They didn't give it the thumbs up or the thumbs down. It's like they didn't even look at it. And I pinged them because I was like, come on guys, like, what's going on here? And no one's gotten back to me. And I don't know at this point what to do, but it's like it's holding up my ability to be productive because we're playing these games right now. It's like, I want to be productive. Please let me be productive. My goodness. And it's just politics, bureaucracy, life, the whole shooting match. My old boss used to use that phrase all the time, the whole shooting match. And I used it for a time period when he was my boss at the time. I haven't used it in a long time, and so using it right then and there felt pretty good. But I don't know. Golly, this sucks. I'm sorry. But I am just not focused right now. My brain is exploding. And we have those, what are those things called? Those silly bugs that make a lot of noise, cicadas. We've got cicadas going crazy outside. It's funny people say that you can only hear them once a year. It's like, I swear I can hear these silly bugs all year round, every day, every year. Maybe it's a different bug, and I just don't know the difference in my bug sounds, but I feel like that's common sound here, but maybe not. Maybe it's just the sound that I am hearing, and because I have heard it decently enough recently, it's stuck decently recently. Oh man, I haven't started. I still have yet to start compression, man. I wanted to start it on Monday so that I could get a whole week's worth of productivity out of it. But we still haven't started. He's trying to use a different platform, which I respect and understand, but I don't know my way around this platform. I don't know what's going on. I'm tired. I just want to go home, curl up into a ball, and sleep. Which is going to make for an unproductive afternoon. But not every afternoon can be a productive, wild piece of work. I don't think I'm hearing anything back from this until oh, Lordy be. How are you all doing today? If I pretend like I'm having a conversation with you, then maybe this conversation will drag a little less. That's what it's like. Maybe when I hit the highway. When I hit the highway, I'll find something to talk to y'all about. And then it won't be this awkward kind of interaction of me just saying stuff. And it doesn't help that, like, if I ever had a headache before work, I would probably just not go. But it doesn't help that I'm driving home. I always struggle to find topics for you guys on the way home, because I've been working all day. My mind is on work stuff. And so to try and, like, turn work off and turn on conversational things real quick is not oftentimes easy. I would guess it's never easy, but doing so on days like today, it feels like it's incredibly difficult. Not to mention, like, driving this where I'm yawning this often is probably not great either. It's like I feel like I just close my eyes and just be done. Alright, I'm done. Eyes closed. But I keep feeling like my phone's going off, and then I go and check it and it's not going off. I also know the ringer's on, because I keep hearing the ringer go off, and so if the ringer doesn't go off, then I know my phone's not going off. But, oh well. We will continue to do things the way in which we do things. And hopefully, eventually, things will come up. Let's talk about this YouTuber. I came up with an idea. We'll see how this floats. When I'm not, like, looking at the camera, it's hard to tell if I'm on screen or not, but there's this YouTuber that I watch, and I think he is aiming to change his content base into something more akin to this, which I don't know how I feel about it. He's had a YouTube platform now at least since 2018, and he's decently successful. He's not like the most successful person on YouTube. He's not some bum like me either. He has, I think, 300,000 followers, and averages about 3,000 views per release, and so he's doing comparatively good for himself. Well, depending on who you're comparing him against, but at any rate, he's had a pretty solid content structure leading up to this point. And then just yesterday, he released a video that is more down to earth, more personal, more like this. And I feel like he gets most of his money from this program that he runs, and despite having claimed to have turned a new leaf in this video, he's still promoting the same program he's always promoted. And it really makes me wonder, it's like, is this you trying to finally be genuine, or is this another attempt at you making money? Because, like, I get it, money makes the world go round. No one wants to do anything that they do for free. And if they're feeling like they're not succeeding, or they're not experiencing the level of success that they should or deserve to be experiencing, then you've got to pivot. And, like, I'm bothered because I'm like, is this a pivot for you, or is this you actually embracing a different mindset for your content? But for him to do that and then turn around and continue to ask for the same stuff he's always asked for doesn't necessarily sound or feel very genuine. I remember several years back, this person got heavily involved in like some sort of process, and they were trying to champion this process for their for their subscribers, but the process felt very scammy. It did not feel like something legit. It didn't feel like something that people would actually benefit from. And I can remember at the time thinking that, like, okay, this isn't going to go over very well, because the content itself was like weak. Like, the content they used to advertise the content was weak, and then on top of that, like, what they were advertising was also weak. Like, they wanted to go out and produce a whole bunch of stuff, but like, you had to cooperate with other writers on these projects. And so I was like, so what they're going to do is they're going to host a space for all these people to come together and write this stuff. And then they're wanting to buy the rights off of the team that has the best project and produce it on their own. And what it sounds like on the surface is, my mic. What it sounds like on the surface is just getting something published, which for a lot of people is a big deal. But when you dig a little deeper, you're like, yes, you're publishing this for me, but you're also doing this, or you're also doing that. And it's not as straightforward as it sounds and or should be. And as such, I feel like the content was a bit disingenuous, and I feel like that was a turning point in this person's content library, because I felt like they were building up to that. That's what they were anticipating their channel would become, and then when the audience was not receptive to it, it was like, well, crap, I've committed to this now, what do I do? And so they haven't been consistently uploading or making videos for a while, and they'll periodically make something, but for the most part they're AFK. And then they came back at it today saying, like, basically apologizing for not being as active as they feel that they should be, and also saying that they're kind of changing the face of their product. And I feel like a lot of people are starting to realize, like, the more genuine product really has a home here on Amazon, really has a home here on YouTube these days. And I feel like if we can kind of narrow down on that and get to a point where we're embracing this kind of content, then eventually it gets oversaturated, just like the current kind of content does. Like it's a teeter or a seesaw, or what do you call them things, where one side gets balanced, the other side gets balanced. And right now, we're tipping our scales back away from this highly produced, wacko, Mr. Beast-like content to something that's more stripped down, almost like a vlog of someone's life, more genuine content. And for me, the more genuine content has always been more appealing. Like, I appreciate the level of intimacy that I get with a creator when I'm on YouTube. Like, I can feel like I'm this person's friend. Whereas with like traditional Hollywood entertainment, I do not ever feel like I'm friends with a movie star. Not even like the role that they're playing. And so I've always thought that level of intimacy, if you will, is what makes social media so special, because you can get a lot closer to these people that you idolize than you ever could with these mega superstars back in the day. And so with that, like, trying to find a way to leverage that platform and to be like, okay, I have this, I have the audience, I have the unfair advantage of we're on a social media platform, how do I leverage that? And trying to create content that triggers people to talk, but also triggers people to watch. And because that's a lot of it, is being able to both watch and talk about content is incredibly helpful. And I really hope that we all get a taste of that someday, that we all get to have some level of success that we feel that we need and or desire. And it's just a matter of time before the pendulum switches back in the other direction. Like, I think we're still in a pretty healthy time for this new wave of content, if that's what you want to call it. But that healthy time is only going to last for so long before the new wave, the new shininess of it all just kind of wears out. And you oversaturate the market again, because I feel like that's what happened. Is Mr. Beast came along with something different from what was on the market. Because I feel like the vlog life was very much so a phase of YouTube. Like, there was a vlogging phase of YouTube, and ironically enough, I did not like it. I got on YouTube in probably 2008 or so, and it was just this fun little app on the internet, or whatever you want to call it, website on the internet. I sound like a grandpa calling it an app. But anyway, it was some sort of website that had some videos that people shared that were just funny, dumb stuff. And then it got out that it was like a business, and now all of a sudden the whole world is just like, oh my gosh, I need to be on there creating stuff. And so you had like the golden years of YouTube when things were more genuine, because people weren't posting it for money. But as soon as money got involved, it got ruined. I watched a documentary oddly enough, on disco. And that documentary talked about how pop culture destroys the arts, and how like something is nice and artistic until pop culture gets a hold of it and like basically ruins it for everyone. And so I was trying to figure out like, or I was just thinking about that phrase and how really applicable it is to almost everything. Like, you can say that this idea that we oversaturate ourselves when something takes off is very much true. And I think TikTok is on its way to an oversaturation. It's interesting because, like, I never got into Vine, but I feel like Vine is not that far off from TikTok. And Vine died incredibly hard. It doesn't exist anymore. If it does, it's very rarely visited. And so it's like, at what point in time will Vine join, or will TikTok join Vine in the place of no return? Or will it ever join Vine at all? Is TikTok here to stay? Because it's interesting, kind of observing the history of social medias, if you will. The big dogs, the ones that have been around for a while, are YouTube and Facebook. And then you've got Instagram. Instagram's been holding it down for a while too. And in most of these instances, they offer something different. Like YouTube is a video sharing site. It's very different than Facebook. And Instagram is primarily a photo sharing site, which is also different from Facebook and YouTube. Twitter's been around for a good while. They call it X now, but same platform. I don't know where it falls in the grand scheme of things. I think it was after Instagram, but I'm not for certain on that. And then after Twitter, we just get a bunch of weird kind of knockoff platforms. Snapchat's one that people talk about a lot. I don't have a Snapchat. I don't want to be that person who has every social media known to man. I don't like that. Right now I feel like I have too many, and most of which I have because I am trying to promote myself online. I have decided to do the whole McDonald's thing. I haven't had a McDonald's in a hot minute. It's one of the only drive-through places we have here in town, and even though I'm going to kick myself for spending money when I don't have to, I could just reheat food. I just don't feel like it, and I want to feel good, and I'm hoping that McDonald's can do that for me today. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do, and I'll probably sit you all down in the base part of this chair. I can keep you going so you can see something a little different than the usual, but I don't want the McDonald's people being like, why are you filming me? I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm just filming me. You can't see you. So let's get the camera down here. Can it even see me? Oh, where is it going? You see something? Kind of. I'm almost out of space on this thing too. Ooey. I think it will capture them actually. So I'm just gonna turn it off. I don't. How about that? What if I do that? What if it's you just get to stare at my legs? That's not awkward.
Welcome back to McDonald's. We've used the mobile app today.
What's that?
We've used the mobile app.
No.
What can I get started for?
Just a moment, please.
Take your time.
Thank you. Okay, I think I'm ready.
What can I get started for?
Can I get a large fry, 2 6-piece McNuggets, and a quarter pounder with bacon and cheese, please?
Anything else?
Can I just get no pickle on that quarter pounder, please? And that'll be it for me.
No cheese?
No pickle.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Alright, anything else, sir?
That'll be it.
It's going to come up to $17.81.
Thank you. Well, people always talk about how expensive fast food is these days, and I kind of have to agree with them. I did not order all that much food, and boy howdy am I paying for it. I don't often notice these sorts of things. I feel like I'm out of touch with like how much things should or should not cost. I'm definitely enough in touch to know that people are talking about how ridiculous the costs of goods are these days. It was 17 something. I'll have to figure out the change whenever I get to the window. Yeah, they were talking about, well, and like I went out for a sandwich yesterday, and that thing was like $15, and I was like, $15 for a sandwich? That's crazy. And I'm not going to get on some political soapbox and talk about why food and everything's so expensive these days. I'm going to stay off of that topic. But I will say I at least can recognize it, which is more than what I could say for myself originally. Because a lot of times people talk about prices going up and stuff, and I'm just like, I mean, did it really go up? I don't know. I just don't have a good grasp on those things. Maybe that's a good problem to have. But that's where I am. And hopefully you all don't mind staring at my legs. This is like officially going to be like the most awkward video I've ever made. I'm just like sitting here not talking to you about anything, and then I'm making you stare at my legs while I order fast food. I just want to respect people's privacy and make sure not to get them on camera. $17.88?
81.
81. Okay, I have 81.
170.
75. 80. 81. That should be your 81. Sweet, thank you. Person was having a day. I don't know which window I'm supposed to pull up to. Awesome, thank you. Is that right? Me? 2 nuggets? And do I have a burger in there? I guess so, that's me. Alright, well, I got my food. I'm gonna go home. Crash, well, eat food and then crash, and I'll leave you all down there to get a different view of things. Honestly, this might be the new way to do things. You do get a lot of other stuff in the camera though, which I was trying to alleviate. I was trying to get you at an angle where people don't see a whole bunch of stuff that they don't need to see. I don't know if this angle alleviates that or not, but alright, we're almost there, fam. I can crash and just pretend like the world does not exist, and that's all I want to do. Watch some shows, lay on my couch, be a filthy human being for a couple hours. And I think we're all entitled to be filthy human beings for a little while. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just as long as you're not a filthy human being more often than not. That's the key. Balance is everything. 80-20. And today is part of my 20. And that's okay. Because you'll drive yourself crazy if you try to do 80 100% of the time. And you'll hate yourself if you do 20 100% of the time. And so, yes. And if I'm being honest, my ratio is probably closer to like 97-3. I don't break the habits as often as I maybe should or could or need to. But that's why I'm able to succeed in the way that I do. And like next week, I am determined I am not going, or next month, I am not gonna do stupid spending stuff. And so like, I have got to get all that out of my system this week, or this month, and then when June hits, I need to really refocus and get stuff back into where they need to be. And so that's the goal here. Right now, I'm gonna focus on eating food and having a good time, and then we'll just go from there, and we'll just do what we do. Here we are, where we've always wanted to be. That is home. Thank you, goodbye, all of the things. Sorry, today was terrible.